We all have some story to tell. At least, we all have something to jot in a notebook or to detail around the dinner table. Life brings memories and embarrassments, accomplishments and tangents, and in my case, they all end up in the Notes app on my phone. Welcome to Something to Note, a podcast dedicated to these scribbles of inspiration and facts for humanization. I'm your host, Ben Geezer. Each show, we attempt to get some story, set of experiences, or new outlooks on life off our chests, all centered around some central theme or topic. Think a private journal, but for the public to see, or hear. In the end, we hope to spark something for yourself to start taking note of.
Hello, everyone. It's been a bit. In this episode of Something to Note, I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you. It's a simple phrase, often human instinct to say, especially depending on how authoritative and Midwestern your parents are. Still, it's a phrase that we should spend more time thinking about, instead of all the other junk we could find ourselves hyperfixating over. To be honest, listeners, these last few months have been a bit rough for your beloved host. We can all find ourselves falling into a funk from time to time, and I was definitely feeling out of it, paralyzed by doubts and anxieties to the point of not being able to live the life developing around me. I was scared. I was lost. I was also graduating college. Then I remembered I was not alone. There were people who I could talk to. There were people who wanted to talk to me. I received help, and I can now say I'm feeling better. It can be scary, drowning in these dark moments, likely escalating from the imps and demons in our heads. But a simple lifesaver I've come to understand comes from the little interactions we can have with each other. The simple acts of being included in conversations or receiving compliments can remind us of who we are, and a little unexpected thank you can go a long way. So in this episode, I wanted to say thank you to all those who made the simple act to get me out of my funk, whether they realized it or not. While I would like to thank everyone, I'm narrowing it down to exemplify how seemingly small and random these acts of kindness can be. Plus, it also gives me an opportunity to rant a bit about my problems with astrology, which will make more sense when you hear my story. I don't actually hate that stuff, but I do think it can be a little annoying feeling like my identity is as easy to read as an Instagram post giving a daily horoscope and a new girl quote. Though, I will admit, the crystals you guys buy do look pretty cool. So, without further ado, here is my thank you note titled Signs of Affirmation. Take it away. Dear Aaron and Jess, on March 28th, you made me download an astrology app onto my phone. Perhaps forced isn't the right word. Instead, you'd both probably say it's in my Virgo nature to be willing to please and not let anyone down that I handed you my phone during our shift together in our college's tutoring office. I'd like to say I gave it to you because I'm a nice guy, just going along with my coworkers. But I don't want to argue. Whatever makes you guys happy. I don't know if I believe in zodiac signs. I could quote Ricky Gervais from his show Afterlife and how it doesn't make sense for everyone born in the same month to have the exact same personality. And as a twin with a sister who speaks her mind and is happy to challenge anyone who disagrees with her, I would say that I side with Gervais. But again, I don't want to argue. No one had made an appointment that afternoon, and we were otherwise in separate corners of our workplace. If it was up to my brain, I would have maintained the silence and continued typing away on my laptop behind my desk, attempting to focus on the growing list of assignments I was behind on. More likely, I would have continued to stare off into space, distracted by the ruminations responsible for my school slump. Instead, you guys decided this was a perfect opportunity to calculate the celestial body positionings that apparently dictate all our lives, including mine. While thrown off by the conversation starter and the reveal that zodiac signs don't simply relate to calendar months and trendy coffee shops, I found myself hesitantly joining in on the discussion. I reasoned that being polite and conversational with my coworkers was more important than opening a Word document. It also led to me texting my sister to figure out the exact time of day of birth to finalize the apparent formulas of fate. I had a vague idea when I was born, but I tend to be wishy-washy with the specifics. My sister was certain it was 9 a.m. Now, I don't remember the meanings behind my different moons, star charts, planetary positions, or whatever else that have somehow influenced my identity. Horoscopes would say physical forces from the heavens above molded me into the shy, perfectionist overthinker I am today. I think I just didn't drink enough water as a kid, personally. Whatever the case, I do find myself looking back on our conversation. It was a conversation not necessarily directed at me, but it was one you encouraged me to join. It was a moment to get me out of my head, to be me, and I'm thankful for that. I do see the appeal of astrology. For one, it's a nice icebreaker. As someone who gets stuck in his mind with worries of not wanting to bother others, it can be difficult to come up with the right order of questions and stories to get to know my peers. And asking them when their birthday is to then provide a comparable personality chart feels more like a party game than forced small talk. But while I don't necessarily believe in horoscopes or astrology, I do believe in our shared desire to want some reassurance in our lives, to receive some affirmation outside our often antagonistic and questioning heads. I think, deep down, we all have a sense of what answers we need to tell ourselves. At least, we all have answers to give those struggling with their own problems. Sometimes I think we just need a friend, family member, or even a horoscope section of a magazine to confirm what we need to hear, to remember who we are. This last semester, I found myself really struggling with a sense of imposter syndrome. Inner demons kept challenging the face I saw in the mirror, and I struggled to focus on anything but the repetitive what-ifs. Combining this with my looming undergrad graduation and enough future uncertainties to make conversations with family on holidays even more awkward, I blinded myself from whom I thought I was and what I wanted to be. But then you both asked me for my zodiac sign, taking the time to confirm the different traits of a Virgo you saw in me. Perhaps you were just trying to back up the science aspect of the pseudoscience. Though it never hurts to hear compliments about your apparent moments of kindness, generosity, and humor, things we can often forget about. So, I thought I'd return the favor based on my own observations. Now, I honestly don't remember your zodiac signs or frankly when your birthdays are. Virgos, I guess, are supposed to have good memories, but I do not live up to that. What I do know is that you both are welcoming and easy to talk to. While you might have your own self-doubts, you both have an assertiveness to say or do what is on your mind. People want to talk to you, get to know you, and joke with you. They want to join your conversations, and you let them, often encouraging the whole office to join in. You both have stories, proud experiences, and moments of humility you are willing to share that make you the impromptu gurus many of us turn to for advice. And I want to emphasize that not everyone will buy a coworker a Kit Kat for simply doing their job, or take the time to walk up to their desk to ask them how their day is going. And those little gestures do truly matter. Plus, I hadn't eaten breakfast. Thanks for everything, Jess and Aaron. I look forward to future conversations, even if they include a deck of tarot cards. Sincerely, Ben.
That's going to do it for this episode of Something to Note. Just remember, it might be something big, it might be something brief, but there's always something to note in our everyday lives. Why not share it? I'm Ben Geezer. Thanks for listening.